Lord Zsinj's progression into the galaxy has been one of a slow and steady advance. With the turn of 90 galactic cycles after the previous Emperor's death, Lord Zsinj still struggles to prove his own legitimacy as the galaxy's rightful ruler. Still plagued by Ardus Kane's own Pentastar alignment and the central Imperial Remnant, Lord Zsinj now looks to taking some central planets in the galaxy to ensure his own legitimacy as the rightful ruler. With this, he looks very greedily upon previous Hapan territory taken by the Imperial Remnant and hopes to secure the vast resources there and train new officers in that territory. And with his vast and mighty fleets and armies, this will surely be no problem for the upcoming warlord. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Star Wars Empire at War. Previously, we did manage to raid the orbital space around the previous Hapan sector of the galaxy, and I think that is going to be our primary goal today, to actually contain that and take it for ourselves. Because it's looking very open. We have full vision on this cluster of planets because we did send some probe droids in previously. The heaviest defense, at least in terms of standing ground units, is over on Shuba over here, where it does have some very minor standing walkers and speeders there, backed up by heavy factory. It's quite a small map as well by the looks of things, which is very useful indeed. So at least for Galanor, maybe Teren, we might be able to also through those because they don't have a lot of buildings for defense there. And they only have on Teren so far an Imperial dropship transport standing there. At least for Hapes though, and Relithan, we're going to have to fight those manually because they do have much more structures there. While they don't have any standing garrison, those structures I think will count for a fair bit in the Auto Resolve. This game is just brutal on Auto Resolve anyway. You only want to do it if you don't mind taking a couple losses, but the fight just really isn't worth it, of course. So we're not going to do that immediately because we are still building up some forces for that process in this sector of the galaxy. On Mandalore, waiting for a few troopers and of course a Canderous tank. Guessing a few more troopers over here, Raptors on Wayland, and on Auxilia we're going to be creating some A9 fortresses. Otherwise they're looking pretty damn decent. Just want to make sure that goes through fairly easily. On Garrus we're going to keep this garrison here just in case we get attacked from Lantilles. Although actually, yeah, that is Hutt cartel, so that's not independent. Still getting used to the colour indicator for the Hutts, but of course I do have that indicator here for the flag. I might want to raid that actually, while we're thinking about it, at least just raiding the orbital space while we're here. And I might actually want to take Tybazan to take Mercana as well, just to really close that off. We might even think about taking Liana over here. Do we have a trade route on Elon? We do not, but it might be worth thinking about that with 1, 2, 3, 4 connections once we take Liana, because that'd be an extra 200 income for us. Zevro as well might be an option for one. If we go to our faction statistics, we do have space for 5 more trade ports. So we're actually doing pretty well on that, which isn't bad at all. If we look to remind ourselves of our legitimacy, we're standing at 28%, only the tiniest bit above the Remnant's 27% there. So actually taking the Hapan space will put them down quite a bit. And that helps open us up to get to Kuat as well, which is a goal for us. I think though we're going to start by taking Gravlex Med over here, which does contain Boba Fett, a lot of these C10 siege towers, and a lot of nasty infantry, as well as some more C10 siege towers in backup from these advanced factories. And it's the Dathomir map as well, so that's rather defensible actually. That's going to be a toughie. We're going to need a lot of long range artillery, which we do have about. Got an SP-Mate on Ord Mantell. Mindor, we can probably take an SP-Mate in a Canderous unit. We might have to pull over from this area actually for that. Generis does have an SP-Mate. We need infantry though as well. So actually it's going to take a little bit of time to reinforce ourselves in this area. So we'll just get some more infantry here. Auxilia, it's going to be still making those. Do we make a work force over here, no double taxing Taris, but we can use our Huts hero to come over and just get some discounts because we do still have some fair production on Taris. We've got a couple heavy factories, so getting out actually some of these 80 APs would be very useful indeed. How quickly these A9s are coming through, actually pretty damn decently with the work force building here and all of these heavy factories and such. Very useful indeed. So, come over here, comes to the ground tab. We'll make 3 AC APs. What else do we have over here? Oh, New Republic's captured Slaherian, so they're really pushing for previous hut space. Slaherian itself is just here. That's quite the moneymaker. We're going to want to aim for that ourselves later on. We're just building up our support ships over here for this particular fleet because that doesn't have an interdictor and we have been losing lancers previously, so I want to build up on those just to double check that because you do go through them fairly quickly. But to begin with, let's go and I think go for space invasion of Morkana. So despite the enemy not really having anywhere to retreat, we are using our gravity well generator and we're going to just get on our lances very quickly here for support, of course. And some nebulons would be great. Just focus them in one area largely there so we can heal tank with these a little better. And we'll get in some here. We'll get in some of these surveys as well to fight our minor corvettes from the enemy. Get in, I think, more of these galleons are always useful. Just really pile them in to really overlap the healing capabilities. And there we go, ripping apart this hero who's only in a victory, which is absolutely brilliant. Smash them. They just have a lot of these marauders, they do come with heavy turbo lasers. So they can take you on in numbers, and they're quite difficult to hit as you see here with larger turbo laser fire. So we're overlapping quite well here. Powers of shields with this Nebulon here. A lot of fighting bombers coming in, but we've come in one of these pirate vessels and a couple of these ships over here do come with some bombers of our own. But actually only one squadron of fighters. So people try to say that Zsinj can do a bit of everything. When it comes to fighters and bombers, I wouldn't say so much. You really have to rely on these pirate transports for bombers. So nothing else really provides a deep reserve of those.
Eliminating target.
But so you can brawl quite well in Zsinj. You do have a lot of protection with a lot of corvette options. But that's the fleet dealt with. Got some retreating corvettes over here. So we don't want to push in too much with our fighters.
Yes.
So just move up over here and take on the space station.
More enemy craft.
Go, very nice pick up there, especially taking that hero. It's brilliant stuff. So I think we're just going to pull our troops together and take the planet. Why not? Yeah, there's nothing worth note in that corner there. Whenever I see the red up here, I think we're going to get invaded ourselves. We're going to stop and pause for that. I'm quite happy to take our land units from here as well. We're going to need them. Need reinforcing everywhere in terms of land units, don't we? So actually, having said that, how many credits do we have in the bank? Got a fair few. Let's, while I think about it, just pause. On Mintuin, we do have a lot of ground slots available, so that's a little more defensible than Mon Calamari. So we're going to create a barracks, one heavy factory, a planetary shield generator, and I think we could attack it because I really like to boost the income wherever possible. You really have to. Certainly get on the Dreadnought shipyard, and that will do for that. We can pull our administrator away, double check Mon Calamari is creating properly. It certainly is. Let's bring up some more troops over here. How much infantry do we have? We do have a fair bit. We have some heroes. That should really be okay to take Morkana. It's just going to be a little tight on the infantry side. I think we're just going to wait for this one unit of Raptors to come through. Just because I want some sort of meat shield for our heroes. And we can go in and take that very quickly. I'll be in a good position to do so there. So, to begin with, I think we're going to try and rush a couple command posts. I probably shouldn't have actually landed with quite so many troopers, but that's not a bother. Really not a bother there. Just make sure we're defending the home command post there. Group these up as ever. I'll push on over to this 2-point cap. We can get a victory win over here with the victory win, and that's most wins really if you're victorious. But a victory point win, unless there is. No, we can't. We do have a planetary generator, so we can't do that. That's unfortunate. But there's not much else either way. Let's move over to this one. Where are we going to stage our assault? I think from the main command posts over here really is for the best. Let's get some room here so we can drop. Lovely. Drop with Uri because he's a very good starting commander. He doesn't provide any actual field command, but he's an excellent fighter against infantry.
What can I do for you?
Welcome aboard, soldiers.
Yeah, there we go. That will do very nicely. So, let's move back and we can drop in some armour. Let's take some ACAPs for mobile long-range stuff there. And I think we should be able to deal with infantry fairly well. It is vehicles we're going to struggle with. We might as well get some of these down, I think. Lovely. And let's group these up and we'll start pushing towards this area of the map to begin with. So, moving up to the north end of the map now, only very minor things so far. We're starting to see some enemy anti-vehicle units over here, so just snipe that down. And we'll get these units over onto the infantry. Yeah, let's get on top of this. Those speeders are very nasty. And actually what we'll do is we'll try and drop our infantry if we have space, please. And we need to drop Uri before anything bad happens there. Come on, need space, lovely. Let's get on through the rest of the infantry here and try and get these into the line of sight. Just push on through. Lovely. Get on top of this speeder here because that's going to be very nasty indeed. We've actually lost one of these drifters already. Need to pull back now because we see a persuader that's going to rip our lighter units apart. Seems to be having a difficulty with accuracy here actually. Let's move this ahead. Alright, yeah, let's pull back here, and actually they're going to be weaker to our Raptors with the current composition over here. So just snipe down this infantry with our gunships. Lovely. Lovely stuff. And we'll pull back, and the idea here is to create a repair station. Repair these and our dropships. And these can come a little forwards. This is actually an abandoned post here, so we'll take that. Certainly take that. Looks like the enemy doesn't want to push ahead, so move over to hit the planetary generator. We are capturing bases to the south. And what we'll do is we'll group these up and just scout around, throw away scouts, the best type. Remove that generator, and let's see, we have one of these about. Snipe down, very nicely indeed. You know what, I think it's just easiest to go for this victory point now that we have destroyed that generator. We can't see much else going on to the south here, just that persuader. See some infantry, so we'll just snipe that down. They do have an anti-air turret there, so move away. But once again, not too worried about these quick units. In fact, they're coming for the south over here. Not a bother really. Let's move down to get that victory position. There we go. No one lost anything, apparently. Great stuff. But that should be the end of the CSA. Very nicely indeed. There, let's bring the administrator over, double check the garrison properly, bring this down back to Mintuine for now. And actually, might want to raid Bunta, you know, just because the New Republic took that recently. I'd half expect a fleet to be there. And Liana does have, it's sizable, but nothing overly nasty in orbital space there. We'll have a look over at the ground space, of course, as well. Yeah, that should be good to garrison down here. Lovely. Let's get some buildings going over here then. And while that's coming through, we'll go back to Deservo for this. What's going on here? Cycle 100. So at Nazoth, we have, I forget what they call the Duskan League over here. Very, very nasty starting fleet there with, I think, multiple Super Star Destroyers. They at least get an Executor. It's not our problem just at the moment, so that's great. We haven't been aggressive enough to make that our problem. Do you know, we could take this by stealth. We could take this by stealth, but it doesn't really do much for us. Because you still need to get rid of the fleets. Either way. So we can just take that with the standard tactics there. I think what we'll do is just reinforce our armour over here, because I'm really not liking the lack of it in this area. But are we ready to actually go for the Hapan space? I think we are, which is brilliant. These were actually going to move over to Morocco now, help us over Gravelets, won't they? But we'll take these over. We have on Auxilia a loss of armour, actually. Is it going to let me drag? Well, also through Galanor, for a few losses actually, more than I was expecting. But we also unlocked the Maelstrom group, and I've unlocked them before in a previous playthrough, but for the life of me I can't remember exactly what they bring to the table. So we shall find out. It looks like it's going to be a Super Star Destroyer. Perhaps that's very cheap for a Super Star Destroyer. It's got 3 heroes though, but it's a top tier apparently by the looks of it. So we'll just reinforce ourselves a little bit because I think we will want to risk ordering through Teren. We'll see what it looks like when we get over there. Once again, just making sure we have a lot of these Raptors available. It's looking like, what was that? We can still get some pirate heroes. Fleet tier pirate hero there is available. That's interesting. I thought we already got one there.
Reinforcement available.
It's very interesting indeed. It's saying reinforcement available as if we've got some extra heroes anyway. Huh. Alrighty. Well, we'll look through... Is it Wayland, wasn't it? Get... Just pause very quickly. So we can go for a fighter hero. Not so worried about them because we can actually reassign and recruit these as well. A Corvette hero might not be bad, but maybe for this fleet over here. I don't know, because all of our fleets are hero led so far. It's a tough one because if they're going to provide good command, I like to spread that out because it doesn't compound on itself. Anyway, let's see exactly what we have here. We have Torpin, Moth with the Maelstrom Battlecruiser Passenger. That looks like a fairly standard sort of capital ship. We'll have to try that out. It's actually Maelstrom. Oh, you can get that in the Clone Wars, so for the Republic now, can't it? That'd be pretty damn decent. It's got a lot of torpedoes, as you can see there. That will be very decent indeed. He is cowardly though, so that will be a malice for us, I imagine. Having you Administrator, excellent, in an Imperial 2, no less. So, we might want to use him aggressively, actually, with this fleet over here, just to help us save costs as we move into the Hapan space. That's pretty damn decent. We also have this ground hero, Vatoki, Command Tier 3. That's excellent on an LAAT. Very, very useful indeed. Quite happy with that. So, yeah, very, very happy indeed. That might be, I don't know, with that together, that's the new fleet in itself, thinking about it, which can push down here, and we can use this really to defend and react as we need. So we do have some good pop cap left, so we're going to recruit some supports for them. So get some victories out here, move over to Dathomir to reduce that, and we'll start getting some capitals out for them. But otherwise, we're going to carry on with the invasion of Teren. It's actually rather an open map here, so I think we are going to take one dropship, just this starting unit of Raptors for now, they can create a building here, but we're just going to do, as we did previously with Meccano, just take a few landing spaces to begin with. Let's push up to this one very quickly. We'll just fast forward because there's really no reason to stay slow here. Come on, get in here. There we go, lovely stuff. Let's move to the south one here. You can see the enemy's taking this further command post. This opens up, of course, pop space and extra options for us. Let's see if we can be a little aggressive. No, the enemy's over there. Okay, slow down and move over to this command post. They should have moved away from here now, but they have created. Okay, alright, we're not going to be able to stand up against that. Let's pull back. Not a bother. Alright, so that's going to chase us. Okay, if that's going to chase us, what we'll do is land a Canderous unit. That's going to go back. Okay, so we'll just push forwards over here. It's fairly easy. Not to worry though, we've opened up some pop space for us. And we'll get a second, we'll get 2 A9s, some Raptors, we'll get some use out of the Mandalorian infantry. And this young man can provide some minor command for us, that'd be great. Do have an abandoned post over here, that's a mining facility. I wouldn't mind a little boost of our income. So secondary objectives, destroy or land, yeah, nothing really going on too interesting there. We'll pepper this and pull back. I don't want to risk that. The Canderous units can take that on quite handily because they have good anti-air accuracy. Not that it comes up as an active trait. See something over here, see some infantry. It's going to be difficult with the lay of the land, with all the swamps and the dips in the lands, to actually get some good ground engagements for us. That's all the way over here, isn't it? Okay, not a bother. There's an abandoned station here we can take. Enemy still... So I'm not too sure about that. Okay. Tell you what, let's start pushing. How does he swap over here? It goes to melee frenzy. Okay, interesting. Not too worried over there. Let's bring this over to support. So we can get on top of the scout troopers, actually. Those missiles should wreck them. Lovely. Just finish them off. Great. And now we can capture this. That dropship needs to go down though. One more burst? No, not quite. Okay, maybe it doesn't have the accuracy we thought it did. Let's pull back. Cover up and use our rockets against this. Because these Firehawks will rip apart our A9s. I don't know why we're not firing onto them. Let's move up a little closer just to help out. There we go. Slowly going down. It's not firing us our rockets as we'd like. A few coming out now. Looks like we're just struggling with the terrain there. Captured this. Let's move up to flank. Lovely stuff. And yeah, that would be great. So let's try and micro these a little better, just because they're not really helping too much. Do like the use of these Mandalorian troopers actually. They're very good against infantry with their flamers. They can take on some light armor with those wrist rockets as well. Excellent. Love to see it. Okay, so let's take off cover so we can move a bit better. And I think really we just go straight for the base here. They do have a planetary generator here, so the idea was to pick up some more infantry here. What we've got here, just some infantry. They're in a bit of cover there. I like the sound effects on their guns actually. Very nice indeed. Yeah, just do one massive, easy, brain-dead push to the enemy's base here. Maybe that's an attack move. What do we get out of here? We've got some mercenaries. That would do excellently against the units over here. What is this? Anti-vehicle. Deal with that with our dropship very handily indeed. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's just garrison units otherwise. Lovely. Well, the enemy did decide to retreat from that before we could chase down their last couple of buildings, but that's absolutely fine. Does me a favour. And that's another building. Oh, another building, another planet. So let's get on to the standard constructions. That's also a, I forget what we call it, Officer Academy. Increasing our influence does take a hefty credits upkeep. We can certainly take it at the moment. Increases our crew income as well. We're standing as a healthy 40. And in total we have 2,000, despite all of our constant constructions. But we are certainly going to get on top of this because it's very, very useful to have, of course. We can stay in the space area there, the orbital space. We were going to create some capital ships here. Do you know what? I think we're going to make a rather nasty fleet out of this. We're going to finally get out of Suranan. They're excellent units. You can get as many as you want. You certainly can, because they're only battle cruisers. You get as many of those as you want. So that's excellent. Do we have? Yeah, we have Auxilia as another capital capable ship here. So I think get one more Imperial Star Destroyer at least. Cause the Suranan and the Maelstrom over here. We also get another Imperial. So we get a Imperial 2. Actually, no, we get an Imperial 1. And then I think really come back down to separate the construction a little bit. We'll just get out to some corvettes, frigates, spread the actual production out a little bit to save on some times. So over on Taurus, we're creating some more land units who support our Hapan invasions. That's excellent. We get some lancers up here, and that will be a very nice looking fleet actually. While we remember, we're going to go back to Taurus and create an interdictor. But otherwise, once again, we're going to carry on with our primary objective for today and create and invade the Hapan space. But of course, the enemy has not sat still for our invasion of the Hapan space, and they've sent very, very minor fleets to take Galanor. They did also through our very minor orbital station there. Absolutely fine, that's pittance at the moment. It means we can strike back and get rid of them. We could just use the one ship here, of course, but we're gonna just surround them. We have the jump on them. Why not be too smart? Be smarter than we need to here, and that'll do. Lovely. Excellent. Yeah, get that KDY down instantly. And if we can get the hanger very quickly, that'd be great. Lovely. Just an acclimator 2. Bye-bye. You can see these ships actually so large, we shouldn't have any problems taking those on, even with our large turbo lasers. So I try not to get these large gunships, just because they are so massive. You can see how slow they are as well. Don't value them myself too much. Yeah, even going down to our massive turbo lasers, they should be missing fighter tier ships. But that's that's brought out the enemy's fleets. That's excellent stuff. That should mean actually there's nothing around. Oh, there we go. There's their land units. Well, we'll quickly go through that, and I think we'll start to invade Shuba. So Shuba actually looking like a slightly bigger map than we gave it credit for, but once again, it's very, very simple layout. Everything's all in this one central area as far as buildings go, which is very useful for us. They do have some speeder units. So what we're going to do is focus on the Imperial speeders. I believe they are anti-infantry themselves, but to be quite honest, I think really an infantry push to start with is just not a bother. Should have brought some ATAAs, of course. Quite the oversight on my part. Absolutely. But what can you do? Except prepare. It's really not a bother. It's really not a bother. We're going to take this sector of the map, improve our pop cap, get the abandoned areas in the corners, just to improve our infantry capabilities. All the enemies hit. Let's slow the hell down. Pull back here just to our M9s a little. Lovely. There we go. Some Hulk droids actually. And that's actually a heavy vehicle faction. We want that for ourselves before the enemy takes that. Out of here we've got some repair troopers, which is excellent. We can keep those next to our A9s. And that's actually a very nice complementary composition. Let's just pull these back a turn so we have room to create this without getting stuck. We have an ATT coming out of here. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it.
Awaiting orders.
Let's garrison that for now. Got coming in here just some speeders. Lovely.
Reporting.
Oh yeah, love it. Okay, this is certainly a mechanized push for us then. We're going to go all in on the Raptors and Mandalorians. Yeah, love to see it.
Target acquired. I'll follow you lead. Commencing attack. We're right behind you.
Ripping apart the Firehawks here with the mass driver as well on the ACTE. It's a shame we lost that ACT hero actually. It's very sad to see.
Ready.
But yeah, I don't think we need to... yeah, we'll push up to this command post just to push the enemy's territory back. And then we'll move on to the main body of the enemy's base. So at this command post now, very minor resistance, as you can see, ripping apart the infantry there with our A9s. We do see at least one anti-vehicle turret here, so we're just going to take a large group of infantry, just take the Raptors as a whole actually. Start pushing forwards is really not a bother. Haven't filled up our total pop cap, but that's really not a problem. Don't necessarily need to. Rip this apart and we can move in with everything else. There's one of those speeders. There you go. ACEAs, really not needed apparently. Let's get rid of this just in case we decide to bring in a bombing run. In fact, you know what? We can't bring in a bombing run because we have this to deal with. So what we're going to do is pull back. We're going to garrison a couple Raptors into this A9. We have some in here. Just rocket that down. Look at that. And we're going to get the get the A9s up here. Is that blocked off? Is that actually blocked off? That is interesting. Okay, maybe we can't go through there. This is an infantry only path. Alright, so maybe we have to go straight to the enemy base. Not a bother. Not a bother. Get rid of that because it's rather nasty. Move to the corporate troopers. There we go, just move straight into the base. That'll be a very happy invasion. Once again, the cowardly enemy did retreat. We did actually lose a Mandalorian platoon there. Using those incorrectly, I think, because we're going more for the jet troopers there, the commandos. We need to use these standard walking units there because they can use the take cover ability. They just have a little more durability there. These really are more aggressive scout units, these. So we need to use them a little differently there. That's not a bother. So, I think that, unfortunately, is all we have time for today, ladies and gentlemen. Time is running out. Unfortunately, it's rather a shame because we're really making some good progress here. What is this? This helps with, okay, so Hapan units. It's worth making for that influence. The base income, will it tell us the total was 200. We might want to actually double tax this. Because I'm very greedy. But that will be for the future. Thank you very much for watching once again, everyone. It's been a pleasure hosting once again, and I hope to see you in the future. May all of your nights and days be auspicious. Goodbye.